A new poll could spell trouble for Democrats this fall. The USA Today Pew Research survey taken after the president announced a surprising surge in Obamacare sign-up numbers. It finds more than 8 in 10 voters say a candidate's stance on the health care law will be important in how they vote. Simon Rosenberg, president and founder of the New Democrat Network and former campaign advisor for President Clinton. Chris Wilson, Republican pollster and former executive director of the Texas Republican Party. Simon, I want to start with you first.
Sure.
Sounds like this is going to be a tough pill for the Democrats to swallow.
Look, I think all Democrats know this is going to be a tough election. But, you know, we're raising a lot of money. Both chambers, I think, are going to be close. I think Obama's numbers are coming up a little bit. And I think if the economy continues to improve, if the perception of the ACA gets better by the fall, you know, I think the Democrats will take that, and we'll just have to do our best and see how it goes.
Chris, 8 in 10 Americans say that this will have a factor in how they vote. One might think this is going to be a major plus for the GOP.
Well, you have to admire Simon's optimism in the face of these numbers. I mean, midterm elections are driven by intensity, and these numbers are just about as intense as anything I've ever seen. And this issue is creating a greater level of intensity than I've seen before. When you have 8 in 10 Americans agreeing on something, that's just almost off the charts. And to point to the fall, I would argue that the House is not going to be close at all. And if Democrats are now hoping the Senate is going to be close, I mean, now you've got independent Senator Angus King from Maine already predicting that he will be caucusing with the Republicans, so it makes it one less seat that we have to win. I think from an overall standpoint, when you look at the numbers coming up against this, and you look at the fall, in terms of people who are going to start losing their coverage at an even greater level, this really spells absolute doom for the Democrats and about as bad of an issue as you can imagine.
Simon, isn't it the root of this? It's about motivation. What's going to motivate the voter to get out there? And I will repeat what Kansas Senator Jerry Moran said. He said, if you think Obamacare is good, it's not a big issue for you. But if you think it's bad, it's an intense one. So he's saying that if you are severely against Obamacare, you're more likely to go out as an American and vote.
Absolutely. I mean, look, the health care has been an animating issue for the Republican Party now since 2009. It was not as effective in 2012 because the Republican nominee actually agreed largely with President Obama on health care. But I think the point is the Democrats are going to have to do a better job at creating intensity for their voters. And I think the idea that the Senate could flip is going to really, I think, motivate Democrats. They're giving a lot of money. The Senate will be very close. I agree with Chris on that. And I think the president's going to have to really challenge this large Democratic base that voted majority for the Democrats in the last 2 presidential elections to show up and do what they didn't do in 2010. I will just say again, I think Democrats feel like they're in good shape. They're working hard. They've got good campaigns, good money. It's going to be a brawl this fall, no doubt about it.
Chris, few seconds left. Last word to you.
Sure. Well, even if you look at Democrats, only 1 in 6 Democrats say that Obamacare has been positive for the economy. So when you look at only 17% of the party's base being excited about this, it's really going to be tough for them to create motivation amongst their own Democratic base to be able to win elections. 17%. That's pretty bad.
All right, Simon and Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As the world works to stop Iran from developing a nuclear weapon, the latest push to bar its newest diplomat from the U.S., a diplomat accused of helping organize an assassination.
Have you forgotten the lessons of the 2008 financial crisis? Neither have a lot of Americans.